Nick Itkin, your November NAC Junior Men's Foil Champion. Nick, describe to us the feeling that you had when you scored that last touch.
It was a really good feeling because, I mean, I was really tired and I was kind of thinking about like how to finish the bout really good. And the last touch just felt really good because I don't have to worry anymore. I just got the bout over.
Now, when you're going into that last touch and in those situations where you're, right there in that position to close out the bout, what are you thinking?
I try not to think like this is the last touch. I gotta just get a lucky touch. I try to like think of it as the 0-0, and then after that I'll move forward from there.
So really focusing on just one touch at a time.
Yeah, I just keep the same touch as the last touch. Keep it the same. Don't change anything. Don't try to like make it special. Just get it done.
Okay. So, and is that true of from the first touch to the 15th touch that you're always approaching it as a 0-0 bout?
Well, kind of, but not really, because sometimes in the beginning about stuff isn't working and you change. So you change and then another tactic is going to work against the fencer, so you keep that tactic. And in the middle of bouts, you're always changing tactics, 1-2, 1-2, so you mix it up.
And how about when you're down? When you're down in the competition, do you try and kind of put the pressure on, or you still try and remain calm and simply focus at one touch at a time?
I try to do one touch at a time, but pressure and stuff. So I try to not focus on the score too much. Unless there's time, then I go for it. But I try to just work with it slowly and hopefully bring it close.
The flip side of that, you won today here when you're leading, and maybe by a significant margin, and you have an opportunity to kind of really have a blowout, or even if it's a tough bout. How do the difference in scores or scenarios impact your style?
Well, for me, when I'm winning, I feel a lot more comfortable when I fence. I start like doing my actions much more confidently and cleaner, and I like my fencing more. But I try to fence like that all the time. Sometimes just pressure and it just gets in the way. So.
And what was most satisfying for you today, apart from coming home with gold, throughout the day from pools to the final? What was the most satisfying part that you're going to really look back on?
Well, I had a really nice, really memorable moment earlier. Like earlier in the bracket, I was losing 14-11 with 15 seconds left, and I came back and I tied it up, and then I won on the priority.
Okay.
It never happened to me before, so it's a lesson, and I know that it's possible to come back. So.
And is that a challenging position for you historically to kind of come back and win from a deficit?
I mean, I've had some moments where I've also been losing and I caught up, but this one, I was fencing a really good fencer and there was barely any time left, and I felt confident and I finished it.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, Nick, on the result today, and best luck going forward.
I really appreciate it.